I'm not surprised you're not answering any questions. The Prime Minister doesn't answer any questions. It seems to be a Labour thing.
Mr Mayor, right, go on.
I don't think you should say anything else rude about Assemblymember Wimmer. She's not here to defend herself. Let's go.
Mr Mayor, very quickly.
I can imagine when the hard-working researcher was writing this line of questioning from the member how clever she thought it was. Let me explain why it's not so clever. The list of tough choices presented by the Commissioner was just that.
Chair, I wrote that. Sorry, Mayor. I think you're being rude now. Not only to Labour Assembly members, you're being rude to GLA staff. Nobody wrote this. I wrote this. So you're being rude to me and saying that I'm not clever. He's being rude to every single person.
To the Mayor,
he's being rude about GLA staff. He's being rude about Assembly members. He can be rude about Assembly members. He's being rude about staff. There's no briefing here, so you're being rude about me. Do you want to talk about intelligence? I can answer a yes or no question. Can you?
Sorry, can you ask your member just to pause for a minute?
Did you tell me to shut up then?
Can you tell the member to pause?
Yeah, you did.
Can you put some group discipline on this, please?
No, we're moving on. You're the one that's allowing it to happen.
Chair, the problem we have is that this Mayor does not answer.
The problem
so
I have...
I've got very frustrated members. No, I understand your position. I mean, I do understand your position. It's difficult because you can't get your Mayor to answer any questions any more than I can persuade my members not to be very frustrated every single time we ask questions. We ask a yes or no question, we get something completely different. It's very frustrating. Hopefully we'll come back in the new term, but in the meantime, if the Mayor's being rude about other members, it's very difficult.
The Mayor has never been as rude to me as he is consistently to women, including Assemblymember Best. It's appalling, and I'm calling it out. We repeatedly called out. We made a whole video calling it out, cross-party. I think Assemblymember Best is entirely within her rights to challenge the Mayor's rude, sexist behaviour.
Correct. Mr Mayor, many of the issues that matter most to the residents of the London Borough of Enfield are precisely the areas which you have failed to deliver on and listen to. Just to give some examples, you've imposed more LTNs, more tower blocks, the destruction of Cockfosters and Arnos Grove car park stations, destruction of Cruise Hill and the Greenbelt, a borough-wide 20-mile-per-hour zone, higher council tax, higher crime, and the threat of building on Trent Country Park. Why aren't you listening to the people of Enfield?
Well, Chair, I think evidence of us listening to the people of Enfield is the fact that we've invested in, for example, Enfield schools. Evidence of us, free school meals. Evidence of us listening to the people of Enfield is us investing in public transport in terms of not just the buses and the Superloop, but also in terms of improvements in public transport. Evidence we're listening to the people in Enfield is us invested in making cycling safer, to encourage more people to cycle. Evidence we're listening to people in Enfield is our great working relationship with the council, which has led to record numbers of council homes being built. Evidence of people in Enfield liking the way I've been the Mayor for the last 10 years is them voting in record numbers for me in 2016, 2021 and 2024.
To correct the record, the people of Enfield didn't vote for you in 2016, they didn't vote for you in 2021, and they voted to be safer with Susan in 2024, Mr. Mayor.
How's that working out for them?
We'll leave that to one side. So, Mr. Mayor, for 6 years, you said that you would protect Cruise Hill and the Greenbelt. You've now had a complete 180 conversion since the crooks that are now in this government took over. So were you lying then, or are you lying now?
There's a lot there to unpack, Chair. So
Not a lot. Were you lying then, or are you lying now?
Let me try, Chair. So I'm incredibly proud that in London we've got not one, but 2 new towns announced by this government they'll be supporting, and one of the new towns is in Cruise Hill. And if you spend some time talking to those waiting to be housed, those in the council waiting list, those living in overcrowded accommodation, those who are underemployed or out of work, they would tell him how much they're looking forward to thousands of new homes, thousands of new jobs, investment in public transport as a consequence of Cruise Hill being one of the news town. And he's an example of one of those people who aren't happy at us being the greatest city in the world and Enfield getting the investment they're going to get. But I appreciate that's party politics.
No, what I'm not happy with is you ganging up with Reform to build tower blocks on the Greenbelt, Labour to build tower blocks on the Greenbelt, the Greens that don't care about the environment anymore, and I don't even know what the Lib Dems are up to these days. My question to you, Mr. Mayor, is you spent 6 years opposing Enfield Labour Council's local plan that wanted to build tower blocks on Cruise Hill and on the Greenbelt. So I ask you once again, mate, were you lying then or are you lying now? Which one? Pick one. Come on.
I mean, Chair, I've been doing this a long time, and his performative loudness and anger is quite a joy to watch and behold.
Well, only one of us cares about Enfield, so I am genuinely angry compared to you. So, were you lying then or are you lying now?
It's like a Robert De Niro in Taxi Driver, isn't it?
Were you lying then? Were you lying then, or were you lying now?
So I'm somebody who's...
I've had worse comparisons than Robert De Niro, but carry on. Were you lying then, or are you lying now?
A poor man's version of Robert De Niro, I hasten to add.
And you're a pound shop Ken Livingstone, so I wouldn't laugh too much, mate. So were you lying then, or are you lying now?
I mean, I'm incredibly proud of the progress we've made in terms of getting 2 new towns in.
Were you lying then or were you lying now? Answer the question. You spent 6 years saying, I oppose Enfield Labour Council destroying Cruise Hill. I oppose Enfield Labour Council destroying the Greenbelt. Your own deputy mayor signed similar letters. But lo and behold, the moment we get a Labour government, you sell out on the environment and you sell out on protecting 1,000 jobs at Cruise Hill.
I'm really proud that this government is working with this mayor and the fantastic council in Enfield to create tens of thousands of new homes, tens of thousands of new jobs. And I'm looking forward to making progress in terms of Great Northern Lines and bringing Cruise Hill under TfL control. And when those things happen, new homes, new jobs, better public transport, we'll be celebrating that, as indeed residents of Enfield will. And I was disappointed, rather than a bit of class, we got crass from this guy from Enfield.
Mr. Mayor, as usual, you took the coward's way out of not answering the question, and the people of Enfield will speak in due course over successive periods and election cycles. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
What can I say? Look, let's bring in...
Who's got the courage to follow that?
Can we...
Listening to Londoners, it's clear they want fair access to speak to the police face to face. You've always maintained that on police front counters, that's an operational decision. On the 11th of September 2025, you said ultimately any changes to the number of police front counters or their opening times is ultimately an operational decision for the MPS. Do you stand by that?
I think when there's limited funding available for the MPS and the Commissioner's given me advice about how he's going to use the finite resources, I've got to take seriously what he's saying. So, for example, he's saying that by reducing the hours or closing down front counters, it means more officer shifts, it means more police officers in the neighbourhoods.
Sorry, Mr. Mayor, you misunderstood the question, and that's unfortunate. I'll help you out. I'm asking, do you stand by the fact it's an operational decision? It's a yes or no answer.
No, it isn't a yes or no answer.
So is it an operational decision, yes or no? You said it is a yes or no answer. You said on the 11th of September 2025, any changes to the number of police front counters and their opening times is an operational decision for the MPS to take. Yes or no, were you right or were you wrong?
So the issues of how the police spend their resources when they're limited is a matter for the police to take, but I take seriously the advice I received from the Commissioner as the operational expert in terms of police in London. And when I'm given options in terms of how finite money is spent, in terms of bricks or mortar, or in terms of police officers in the community, I'll take on board very seriously what the Commissioner says. So
it's an operational decision, yes or no? You said it was an operational decision.
The issue of how the police use finite resources in difficult times...
OK. Shall we phrase it in the way that you were struggling with before? We'll try again. Were you lying then or are you lying now today?
Well, Chair, I mean, I've answered the question
No, you
as best as I
haven't.
can, which is that issues in relation to the expenditure of money that go to policing are matters for which I need to take the advice and be cognizant of the advice of the Met Police
So
Commissioner.
you
or the
do
Deputy
take. So it
Commissioner.
was a political decision, not an operational one. It was a political decision.
The decision to free up police officer hours, officer shifts, and to free up police officers was based upon the advice given by the Commissioner, based on his expertise.
So why would you say in September it was an operational decision if it was your decision?
The decision in relation to how police resources are used are decisions for the Commissioner, who gives his advice and works with MOPAC in relation to those decisions. MOPAC and myself listen to the advice from the Commissioner when it comes to operational matters. The issue of resources, police officer resources in an enabled team, officer shifts being used out in the community, based on the advice from the Commissioner to myself and the Deputy Mayor.
You make absolutely no sense when you talk. You're talking yourself in circles. It's an operational decision or it's not. You're disagreeing with something you said only a few months ago. But the thing that I'm confused about is whether this was a political decision or not. Because I was aware from the words from your mouth that this was an operational decision, which was why I was really confused when one of your Labour Assembly members put up a video encouraging you to think of him as daddy, and not in the paternal sense, by the way. I don't know if you're familiar with that. And saying that he was the reason that his police station stayed open.
So if I could rehearse how we got to this position. So the Commissioner presented...
So were Assembly members responsible for keeping their stations open or not? Yes or no?
Let me explain this. So the Commissioner brought out a list of tough choices in relation to how we're going to balance the budget, and those tough choices are based on operational matters. The police service consulted and engaged with a number of representatives across London, including members of the London Assembly, and some excellent members of the Assembly made powerful representations.
So are you saying that Assembly member Mwema, who isn't here to defend herself, is a rubbish member of the Assembly? How dare you? That's incredibly rude to her. How dare you say that? We'll leave that there. I don't want to hear him abuse your Labour Assembly members anymore. Thank you.
Chair, I can imagine...
No, go.
Absolutely agree with you. I would never ask anybody to vote Conservative. It would be wrong, or Labour or Liberal Democrat. But if we're asking questions, can you do your best to make the Mayor answer the questions? Only there's a sort of an itis going round that the Prime Minister never answers questions. He's got it from him because he never answers. You. Boris. Thank you. Yeah, Mr. Mayor, the front page of today's Telegraph suggests that, other than the phone call from Morgan McSweeney, the Met has no record of any contact from Number 10 in relation to the stolen device. As London's Police and Crime Commissioner, can you confirm that that is correct?
Chair, I can't. It's really important that we allow the police to be in charge of operational matters. It would be inappropriate for me as a politician with clear links to the government to get involved in the investigation at all, or for an impression to be given that I'm in any way influencing this independent investigation.
There's absolutely no question of you trying to influence it. That's not the point at all. It's in all the newspapers. Of course you haven't. But I'm absolutely astonished that Number 10 made no effort whatsoever to get hold of that important device. I mean, it must have had lots of phone numbers on. I mean, Miliband's number must have been on it, and we all know he's in charge. Those phone numbers would be very helpful for somebody to get hold of. It could be that it was a foreign agency trying to get hold of information. So did nobody contact you personally about it?
No, Chair, nobody has. And the Met have confirmed, and this is in the public domain, on the 20th of October they received a report from a man in his 40s alleging that his phone had been snatched. A review of the allegation, including a consideration of whether there was available CCTV, did not identify any realistic lines of inquiry, and the investigation was subsequently closed. The Met have subsequently discovered that the location of the offence was entered incorrectly at the time, and they are revisiting the decision to close the investigation. I understand, and the members referred to this, that a verbatim transcript of the 999 call has been published yesterday by the police for full transparency.
Yes, I should think it has, because the police don't want to get blamed for something. When a phone goes missing, they try and contact the person that reported the phone, and the phone wasn't answered. I just find it very, very strange, and I'm sure you do too, that Number 10 didn't want to get that phone back, or at least look into it, in case, there was more afoot to somebody stealing it. Are you not surprised by that?
Chair, I retain very proudly my independence from a police investigation. It's really important that I stay outside of an operational matter.
You see, the thing is, the reason the press are so interested in it is that the week after Peter Mandelson was sacked, and with the possibility of messages being released which are on that specific phone, I cannot understand why Number 10 wouldn't want that to be found, quite frankly. I'm amazed nobody did contact you, because I would have thought it was a big deal to lose McSweeney's phone. And clearly the press think it's odd as well. Do you not think it's odd?
Chair, there's a police investigation. I'm not sure I can add any more to that.
A friend phoned me last night and said if somebody wanted to lose their phone the week after they're intimately implicated in a huge scandal involving Peter Mandelson and his friendship with the convicted paedophile Jeffrey Epstein, the borough with the highest number of phone thefts in the phone theft capital of Europe would be the place to do it.
Well, this does give me a chance to commend the police for the fact they've managed to reduce the numbers of phones stolen last year by more than 10,000. We're investing in more support for the police, an additional £4.5 million in a command cell, but also in these Suron electric bikes and drones. We're determined to make more progress to reduce mobile phone thefts even more.
Yeah, I just do not understand why there wasn't more interest in getting that phone back. And you wonder why people look at this and think there's something not right here. It's got a wrong feel about it. I'm not surprised you're not answering any questions. The Prime Minister doesn't answer any questions. It seems to be a Labour thing. So on that point, I may as well stop there. Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Chair. Mr. Mayor, once any reopened Met Police investigation has concluded, will you commit as London's Police and Crime Commissioner to obtaining and publishing a full written account of exactly what happened to Morgan McSweeney's stolen phone, including any contact between the Met and Number 10? Yes or no?
Well, Chair, what I can do is make sure that the Commissioner sees the issue raised by the member and ask him to respond to the member accordingly, and the Assembly, of course, for the interest of full transparency.
Will you commit to actually publishing that, Mr. Mayor?
I think it's really important to get the advice from experts rather than using a police investigation as a political
to that, Mr. Mayor?
Football. Chair, it is important to send to the Commissioner the comments made by the member. I'm really happy for the Commissioner to respond directly to the member, but I'll ask the Commissioner to copy in members of the Assembly as well for obvious reasons of transparency.
Yes, I don't see why you won't commit to doing it as a politician. Why won't you commit? You are the Police and Crime Commissioner. We would like to see it in writing from you.
Well, Chair, I've got experience of Home Secretaries getting involved because of their politics in operational matters. As a Mayor, I'm not willing to do so. It's really important.
No, they'll be finished it by then. Once the case is finished, then you can comment. You are the Police and Crime Commissioner, let's not forget. So this alleged stolen phone, will you commit to publishing?
You are now out of time, and obviously this may continue outside this meeting. Okay, right, let's take stock. Now, we've made some headway.
We're still on question one.
Sorry, yes. We're still on question one. We are still on question one, but we have made progress. Now, I'm in your hands. I'm in your hands.
Chair, I challenge that as well.